Oh, Wayne.
Hi, Mrs. Banks. How are you?
Yes. Good.
Good.
I have my husband here, so he's gonna talk to you. Okay.
Oh, he's gonna talk to me. Okay. So instead of you, it'll be him.
Yes. Because
Okay.
he's a social person.
Okay, no problem. All right, Mr. Banks.
Yeah, I'm here.
How are you?
Well, I'm pretty good, I guess.
Good. That's good.
I guess they say in the Midwest, I'm fair to Midland.
You're fairly what?
Fair to Midland.
You're fair to Midland. Okay, I never heard. I guess that's not that East Coast thing. I never heard that before.
It's Midwest.
Midwest. I got it. So I just have a couple of things to talk to you about. Before I get into that, I just want to kind of introduce myself on the line. So my name is Wayne, and I solve problems for real clients. I run a boutique firm called W. Scully CPA PC, specializing in tax resolution cases involving the IRS and the state tax department. I also provide tax plan and tax preparation. And today I have a very special client on the phone, Mr. Banks. So Mr. Banks, I know you're kind of taking over for Mrs. Banks on this call, but hopefully she can chime in at some point in time.
She's here. We're both here.
Good. So for the benefit of the folks listening, because I'm gonna publish this call possibly on my website. So for the benefit of the folks listening on this call, right? Tell me a little bit about yourselves, and of course, don't reveal any personal details or anything like that. But just talk a little bit about where you live, what city, what state, if you're married, single, and so forth. Which you've already obviously talked about that already. Cause both Mr. and Mrs. Banks are here. So just tell us a little bit about you.
Okay.
He's a track star.
Okay. All right. I mean, now or
back in the day.
Back in the day. Okay. I thought she meant now. You're a track star. Okay. So you were a track star. Perfect.
Right.
Wow, awesome. I'm from Jamaica originally. We have some of the greatest runners around. I used on the sprints. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah. I don't know if you've been watching.
I've been wondering what you guys they've been eating.
I know, man.
They've been feeding them over there.
I know,
man. Running fast.
I know, man. I know it's kind of crazy the way that works out. The women are fast and the men are fast. So that's pretty awesome. But yeah, aside from that, you're retired, right, Mr. Banks?
Yes, I'm a retired probation supervisor.
Okay, perfect. And you live in California, right?
Los Angeles,
California. Okay. And of course, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You want my address?
No, don't do that. We don't want to put your address out there.
Okay.
We don't want to put you. We don't want to have any personal details, so anyone can identify you.
Okay.
So you were retired, and Mrs. Banks is what? Semi-retired, right, Mrs. Banks?
Right.
Semi-retired. Okay. And what type of work do you do, Mrs. Banks, at this point?
I'm a transcriber now.
Transcriber.
Secretary.
Perfect. And so, what's the primary source of your income at this point? Both of you, either one of you can answer that.
My retirement.
Your retirement, and
yes.
Mrs. Banks.
Social Security and her part-time job.
Part-time job. Perfect. So tell us a little bit about what issues you were having with the IRS. Like how much you owe them, how much you're paying every month, and so forth. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I don't know about that. When I really got in trouble, I let one guy do it over and over, do my income tax, and I had what do I have? I had a thing for my mother. We were doing Okay.
No, just talk a little bit about how much you owed them, like what type the notices you got. Maybe Mrs. Banks might speak better to that.
She can speak better.
Yeah. So how much you owe them? You don't have to give them the exact amount, but just a little bit of how much you owed and how much you were paying every month in total. It doesn't have to be exact either. Just a ballpark.
Well, we were paying Social Security $279 from mine, and Fred had 70 something. Yeah. So we were paying like $300 a month.
Like about $350, right? Something to that effect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So, and I mean, that must have been a terrible thing for your budget, right? I mean, it must have impacted you like in a very negative way.
Paycheck to paycheck,
Yeah. Understand. And that's not the way you want to live. You're retired. You just want to kind of enjoy your retirement years and whatnot, and not be worried about the IRS being on your back. Is that correct?
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, tell me a little bit about how you found me. Like, how did you get to me, and how did we start working together?
We went to the same high school together, so.
No, how you found me? How did you find me?
Oh, well,
not Mr. Banks.
Our tax doctor recommended you.
Okay, your tax doctor recommended me. Okay, okay, good, awesome. And
we had been doing our taxes there for a while, and so he recommended you.
Okay, and like what you had the letters, like you got the letters in the mail, and you just took it to him and said, hey, listen, this is what's going on.
Right.
Do you know anyone that could help me with this? Is that kind of like how it went?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
He recommended you, and so we went out and took him up on that matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So kind of like, I mean, like just kind of like talk a little bit about us working together. What did we do? Like what did you and I do? How did we get to the point where
Yeah, well, we contacted you, and you called right away, and so we were able to get the income tax. Yeah, exactly. So we were able to work with you, and it came out to be most exciting.
Right. I know. But before we even get into that part, like, I mean, talk about like the nights we spent on the phone, gathering the information, and how sleepy you were, at night, almost like falling asleep or whatever, and it was a pretty tedious.
Took a lot out of me, because I had to give you all the information.
Right.
And so. I had to stop at one point,
Right,
I was
of course.
like, okay, I can't go on
Right.
anymore.
But I did inform you of the importance of the information, because we needed to provide them with as much financial information, analysis, so they can, it would support our case basically, and get to where we need to go. So that was important. So I know it was tiring for you, as well as myself, but we had to plow through that process to get where we needed to get. So so it wasn't, at least it was not for nil, right? It was definitely a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So
good. I had to get all that information to you.
Right.
So,
right. And we had some back.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You handled it, and we were able to get a good resolution out of it.
Good. So yeah, I was gonna ask you that question. What was the result of what we did? Well, you just said it a while ago. We got a good resolution, right? So how much do you owe now? Do you know what the number is? I mean, I know it was over $100,000 initially, right? That you owed.
Like 90,000.
Yeah, 90,000.
I thought it was more like over 100 when I total everything up. I know back in May it was 90 something, high 90s. But at that for that type of balance.
They kept putting penalties.
Right,
on us,
interest and penalties, correct.
Right.
So the interest is at a higher rate, so it adds up, it piles on. So. So I believe it was $100,000 or a little bit over that when I got the case. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah. So and then you said and how much do you know how much you owe now? Did I give you that information? Did you get the notice in the mail yet from them?
Oh yes. We got a notice in the mail, and we have to go and pick it up. But they also sent a regular mail.
Right. So what did you know? I mean, have you had a chance to read the notice yet to see what it said?
It went on and on, and that we had to give you the information and how we wanted to pay it. Right. And so it went on, and I was just tired of reading it, I said, it was like 7 or 8 pages.
I know. And that's why you hire, people like myself to work on your behalf. Who wants to sit and read 10 pages of like a lot of legalese and, tax, codes and whatnot. So
I got tired just reading it.
Yeah, I'm absolutely sure that you would have. Just like me trying to read some sort of legal document, I get tired of that too. So did you get to real the point though that how much they said you needed to pay every month? Do you remember what that number is?
Yes, it was $120
$120 a month. So you went from $358 to $120 a month. That's a huge difference, right?
Exactly.
Right, huge difference. So then you went down to just so you know, you went to $18,000. That's what it was reduced from. It was reduced from $100,000 to $18,000 plus dollars that you now have to now owe as a balance. But thanks to this process that we went through, if you do the math, you multiply the $120 by the number of months you'll be paying this. My estimation is that you'll only be paying a fraction of $18,000 plus dollars. You'll end up most likely paying something like $14,000 to $15,000. So, which in itself is a great thing.
And did you say how long it would take for us to pay that back?
2023 is the year. 2023 is the year. So
we figured it was like 50 years.
No, it's not 50 years. No, it's not 50 years. No, it's not 50 years.
It'll take a long time to pay that back.
Right. Your grandkids will be paying it back. No, it's not. It's not the case. No, it's not the case. No, it's not. The idea is that they want to make sure they get as much out of you before I know a certain deadline date that they have in their sights. So it's not going to be 50 years.
So they won't be taking off the lien.
Oh, yeah, the lien stays until you pay the balance off. Because what happens if you stop paying it, then you're back to square one. So the lien stays, and once the balance is paid off, you get a satisfaction letter. Then we'll have the if it doesn't fall off automatically, the lien, we'll have it adjusted off your account, off your asset. So that's the way that would work. Sometimes it's not automatic. You have to get someone involved to get that done. Because they need to basically, make adjustments on their end and inform the proper authorities that the lien has been removed. Right? They have to file papers for that. So that comes later on. But yes, you're correct. It will not come off. It will not come off until you pay off the debt, until it's like considered paid in full.
Okay.
All right. So basically, how do you feel about my solutions? How will this impact your daily life? What we've done.
It was great, yeah. It was magnificent to go from 350 to 120.
Yeah. So how is that going to improve your cash flow? How is it going to, just like your daily life? What is it going to do? How valuable is that to you? Like, what will you be able to do that you weren't otherwise able to do when you didn't? When you owed more and you had a higher.
Well, with birthdays coming up and stuff like that, we spend a lot of money having birthdays, and it seems like every month we have a birthday.
Okay.
Wow!
Awesome. So buying.
So we can celebrate with them.
Okay. Perfect. With your kids and your right. Awesome. Grandchildren. Right.
Great-grandchildren and stuff.
You have great-grandchildren already? I didn't even realize that you have great-grandchildren. Awesome.
Yeah.
Good. So,
sometimes we can't go, because we don't have the money.
You have the money. Okay, man. I'm so happy that, because you're talking about $200 a month every month. That's like $2,400 per year. That you'll be able to extra cash that you have, and then once you pay it off, you have an extra $120 a month. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah. So, I'm not going to hold you for too long. So, any other words you want to add to that? Anything else you'd like to add before I close off the call?
Well, we were very happy to have you represent us because we couldn't do it on our own.
Okay, perfect. I'm glad to hear that. That's what I do. Like I said, I love this job. Not, everyone wants to get compensated for what they do, but
you're always training and keeping up to date with information. So we were glad that we were able to get you and help us.
Perfect. And so, did the distance matter? The fact that you're on the West Coast and I'm on the East Coast, was I staying in touch with you very frequently? Just to keep you abreast of what's going on? By text, you probably got tired of hearing from me sometimes. Call you at night, whatever. So, because that's what I do. I really care. I really care about my clients. Especially clients are in this type of situation where this is crippling to your life. having the IRS like hovering over you.
You know, worrying about paying bills and stuff like that. So,
right.
If you can help us, then great.
Right.
You know, you were able to help us.
Right. Perfect. So, listen, and Mr. Banks, anything is to add to this, or?
No, I'm just all I can say is that I'm given the variables and all of the different things that we had to deal with. I think you did a great job, and I appreciate it. You gave us a figure that we can handle. You know.
Yes, sir.
That'll be good. That'll be very good because you know we have our kids and you know they're having problems, so we have to help them out.
Right.
It's just difficult, but we really appreciate the job you've done so far.
Thank you, sir.
I hope that we can get this to a manageable situation. You know.
Yeah, well, thank you, sir. Like I said, my job is to serve clients, and clients like you. It was a pleasure working with both of you. I know it was like there were some nights, as Mrs. Banks said earlier, nights where we were sleep deprived, right, Mrs. Banks, and
exactly.
we had to get on the phone and pick up the next day. But we knew we had to plow through it because we knew that we needed that information to get to them so they can see where we're coming from and make and accept our offer basically. So I'm glad that we were able to work together as a team. That's the way I see it, worked as a team, I said for me, except like I said, for me, it's not really. It's not about the money more so. I mean, I like to get compensated, right? But it's really about helping people. So I was glad I was there to help you in this time of need. Thanks to both of you for sharing your story and your experience with me. Hopefully you can spread the word, tell your relatives and your friends, all over. So if anyone needs that kind of help, whether it's mostly tax controversy cases, anything to do with the IRS or the state. And it doesn't matter where the person is located. It doesn't matter what state they're out of the country. As long as they're obligated to pay taxes in the United States, I'll be able to help them. And also I do tax planning. So if someone has a business and they need tax planning services and tax preparation. So and those things. I know I wouldn't take you away from the tax doctor, of course not. But just in case, someone else needs that help, certainly. But my main thing is not tax preparation. It's, like I said, tax controversy and tax planning. So well, the last thing I'd like to say before I leave is please remember to keep up with your new monthly payment amount, because if you fall behind, then you're back to square one. We don't want it to happen, okay?
Right.
So, and I think I suggested to you, Mrs. Banks, that we do have them do a direct debit from your account, and that way you don't have to worry about it. And after a while, you won't even miss it because it's not going to be there. So I think that's the best way to do it. So I think we should reconvene at some point in time, later this week, maybe early next week, or sometime next week, to get that situated. Okay. So that's the only thing I want to say. So we definitely don't want that to happen to you. That's what I'm saying. And so yes, I'm going to close it out. Thank you for your time. Thank you for setting aside some time for me today to get on this call. And take care. Feel free to call me about anything, anytime. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a nice one. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.